अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
From the Republic Media Network headquarters, it's time for Arnab Goswami on the debate. Arnab Goswami on the debate.
On the show tonight, coward Pakistan is using Turkish drones and a Saudi plane as shield. At 9 p.m. tonight, why Shahbaz Sharif is under intense pressure and why he's being called a coward by his own fellow members of parliament in the Pakistan National Assembly. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to start with my status update on the situation right now that we see vis-a-vis Pakistan. And there was a press conference today. It was at 5:30 p.m. And of course, it had the services represented and it had the Foreign Secretary. Now, what is the main key point out of that press conference? The first and most important news point is that Pakistan has been joined officially, militarily, by Turkey. And Turkey has sent a consignment of drones to launch attacks against India. And therefore, the Turkish government and the Turkish military has entered into a state of war with India. They have exploited a NAS Airlines plane flying from Saudi Arabia as a shield to protect Pakistan from counter strikes by India. But going back to the story about the drone, we are now being told through confirmed sources that the Turkish-Asisguard Songar drones have been used by the Pakistanis. Ladies and gentlemen, these are very specific drones that have been provided to Pakistan by Turkey. And these drones were used, about 300 to 400 drones were used by Pakistan to attempt infiltration. At 36 locations, there was an attempted intrusion, and with visuals that I showed you yesterday, when there was interception from the Indian side, was when these Turkish drones were being flown into Indian territory by Pakistan. In fact, we strongly suspect that the handlers of these drones, because the Pakistani army is not technically qualified to use these drones, we are told that the handlers of these drones, ladies and gentlemen, are also Turkish nationals who are operating from Pakistan. So that's a major escalation by Turkey in this war situation vis-a-vis India. And it puts us at odds with Turkey, and many people are beginning to evaluate whether we need to have any business or other connections with Turkey, whether people should go there at a holiday, whether they should support Turkish tourism, but more importantly, whether Turkish companies should be allowed to operate in India. That's the first big news. But the second big news is even more alarming. Ladies and gentlemen, we were informed today that after Pakistan carried out these drone attacks on India, naturally they were anticipating a major Indian military or air force response or navy response, and hence to protect themselves, they decided to open up their airspace, allow civilian planes to fly, and by allowing these civilian planes to fly from different locations, they were hoping for a situation that if India attacked, then a heat-seeking missile from India would perhaps end up going and targeting a civilian plane flying over the Pakistani airspace. What this means is that the Pakistanis were using civilian aircraft as shields to protect themselves against a possible major counter-attack by India. The proof of this, ladies and gentlemen, is in the detail of this one plane, which is an Airbus 320 of Flynas Aviation, which is a Saudi budget carrier, which originated from Dammam at 5:50 p.m. and landed in Lahore at 21:10 hours, that's 10 minutes after 9 in the night. And the Indian Air Force got to know about this. We got to know that there were these civilian aircraft that were flying, and this data was coordinated, and it was checked and corroborated through Flight Radar 24. Any of you can also go online and check this. So basically, this has never happened before, that a country and a country's army uses a civilian aircraft as a shield. It could have been a very, very dangerous situation, because despite anticipating a potential Indian response, Pakistan chose not to close its airspace, endangered civilian lives, and wanted to create a situation where the Indian Air Force could be accused of bringing down a civilian plane. This is how demonic the thoughts of Pakistan are. This is how desperate Pakistan is at the present time. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very serious and evolving situation. As I bring you this broadcast, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi is having a very big meeting once again tonight with the Chief of Defence Staff, all the 3 service chiefs and the National Security Advisor. Is something cooking? Certainly it is. Is Operation Sindoor over? Absolutely. Absolutely it's not.
Sirens sounded in Jammu on Thursday night as Pakistan targeted over 24 cities along the western border.
The 16th Corps of the Indian Army, that is White Knight Corps, that looks after the counterinsurgency operation and the line of control in the Jammu region. Their headquarters was also targeted by the drones that came from across the border, but both the threats have been neutralized. Apart from this, we are told that a total of 8 threats that were there at the Rajouri base, that has also been neutralized. All the bases have been secured.
Pakistan firing 400 to 500 armed Turkish Songar drones towards India. The targets chosen were military establishments.
अंतर्राष्ट्रीय सीमा और नियंत्रण रेखा पर लेह से लेकर सरक्रीक तक 36 स्थानों पर 300 से 400 लगभग ड्रोनों का इस्तेमाल घुसपैठ का प्रयास करने के लिए किया गया। ड्रोन के मलबे की फोरेंसिक जांच की जा रही है। प्रारंभिक रिपोर्ट्स से पता चलता है कि वे तुर्की के असीसगार्ड सोंगर ड्रोन्स हैं।
As our air defense systems were activated, Pakistan attempted something that has shocked all civilized nations. Using this Airbus 320 as a human shield in the air, their ploy failed.
Pakistan's irresponsible behavior again came to fore. Pakistan did not close its civil airspace despite it launching a failed unprovoked drone and missile attack on 7th May at 8:30 hours in the evening. Pakistan is using civil airliners as a shield, knowing fully well that its attack on India would elicit a swift air defense response. This is not safe for the unsuspecting civil airliners, including the international flights.
India has struck Pakistan hard in its response. Our targets chosen were 4 air bases that were used to launch the drone strikes.
Armed drones were launched at 4 air defense sites in Pakistan. One of the drones was able to destroy an AD radar. Pakistan also carried out artillery shelling across the line of control using heavy caliber artillery guns and armed drones at Sangdhar, Uri, Poonch, Mendhar, Rajouri, Akhnur and Udhampur in Jammu and Kashmir area.
From targeting civilians and religious institutions to using an international flight as a human shield, Pakistan has stooped to an all-time low.
We have seen the Pakistani side targeting and shelling places of worship with a particular design. This includes gurdwaras, these convents and temples. This is a new low even for Pakistan.
From Hoshiarpur to Kutch to Bathinda, the proof of Pakistan's misadventure is there for the world to see. Operation Sindoor continues.
On this rapidly evolving situation, of course, I have Samar with me and I have got Deepak Vora joining us. General K.K. Sinha is with us. Commodore Bikramjit Singh, ex-Indian Navy, is with us. General G.D. Bakshi is with us this evening. And first, I'd like to go across to General Bishambar Dayal. General Bishambar Dayal, the press conference today had two very big headlines. One is that Turkey has got officially involved by giving these Asisguard drones in very, very large numbers to the Pakistanis. Now, Mike, I want to start with that first headline with you. Why have they given all these drones? Have they given lots of other drones? How expensive are these drones? Who's managing the drones? Is it true that these drones are being operated by Turkish experts who are operating out of Pakistani soil? Does this mean Turkey has got involved officially into an armed conflict with India?
Arnab, thank you very much. Firstly, Jai Hind. I think we will start your programs always with Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, Jai Bharat Ki Fauj. Right? Jai Hind, sir. So let's come to Turkey. The thing is, from last 5 to 7 years, I have been following Turkey and Pakistani military cooperation. And I am of the opinion that this is not overnight. Turkey has supplied these things since post-COVID. Turkey has supplied different drones to Pakistan. And Turkey has also done training for Pakistani pilots, both in Pakistan as well as in Turkey. So this is, and Turkey has completely, there was some contract of going with us in the shipyards that has been scrapped, I think. But Turkey has been totally aligned with Pakistan, Turkey, Azerbaijan. And ever since the anti-drone systems have succeeded in Azerbaijan, Turkey is on 7th heaven. So what I feel is that this cooperation, military cooperation, let's not take it to as an alliance that Turkey will come into war openly anywhere. No, Arnab, it will not. Turkey has got larger business interest with India than with Pakistan. But these are sale purchase things. These are normal contracts which have been signed, and training has been part of that. Post-contractual management has been part of that. Spare supplies have been part of that. But if latest they've sent something after the 22nd of April, and our int agencies can then furbish some details, which, believe you me, Arnab, as an Indian, I am myself trying to find out through different, defense industry which is there in Turkey. But till we do not know, we cannot accuse Turkey of aligning. This is sale purchase of military hardware with normal contracts, and training is part of it. And see, the thing is, Arnab, that Turkey drones have also fallen like, peanuts, have also fallen like, weak birds, right? So let's grant the devil where it is due. And one more thing, a lot of us are talking that India opened up everything. India opened up Fest 400, India opened up Akash. No, these have been dealt at lower level. Picture is very clear. These have been dealt at lower level by shoulder-fired missiles, by the point defense of L-70 or Ju-23. These have been dealt there at that end. That's the way it is. And we have completely thwarted his last night assault. I'm sure we will thwart tonight. But Arnab, it is not what he's doing. It is what we should be doing here onwards. Maybe all this delay that you see, like we were discussing earlier, it is also part of deception. The 15 days was part of deception. And instead of reacting strongly in first 2-3 nights, maybe again there is a deception which Indian armed forces and the Indian political military leadership is working towards, and probably they will plan something again, a bigger, and give a bigger jolt to take back the initiative. It's a matter of time. They may do it tonight, they may do it tomorrow. I think that is where lies that.
Yeah, I think there's a visual of the meeting today.
That is required from Indian side.
That's totally true. There is a visual of the meeting today that was held by the Raksha Mantri. If you see the body language of those who were in there, can I play the visual, please, full frame? And you see in that meeting, can I play it full frame for a while? Thank you. So you see everybody's in a relaxed mood. The Navy chief is explaining something. Admiral Dinesh Tripathi, that's his name, and and everybody is looking at what he's saying. He's explaining something. Some people read a lot into this meeting saying, oh, this is an explanation Navy is giving about a possible attack on Karachi. As I said early in the morning, that's reading too much deductively. But the fact is that there appears to be no pressure as of now, General Bakshi, on our own service chiefs. We are obviously calibrating a response. And I think the best thing in a conflict situation is when you have the conflict under your control. You do not have to be responding. You can set the pace. This meeting that the Prime Minister is having today gives me a sense that this is very much an ongoing situation. We have not yet dealt the final blow. The intervening night events, the first round of strikes on 9 targets was a major strike. But I think we have got a lot of firepower, strategy and intent which is yet to roll out, sir.
Arnab, you are absolutely on the dot. You have judged the body language in this photograph in a very discernible fashion, right? They're all relaxed, there are smiles on their faces, and they are good. They have done a good job. That is why there are smiles on their faces. Arnab, let me just relate to that briefing today by what our girls told us, right? We have an excellent air defense system which can reach out into Pakistan and destroy their aircraft as they get off the tarmacs. The S-400s, the Akashes, the MR Sams, the Barracks, they have proved to be deadly. They can get inside Pakistani airspace and shoot down their aircraft as they rise. We could have done a turkey shoot. What do the cowardly Pakistanis do? Try to shield their aircraft by flying civilian aircraft, so that they are hoping that, like Ukraine, one of their aircraft, civilian aircraft, will get shot down and they'll go to town like they did the last time, blaming the Russians for shooting down, an aircraft with the returned prisoners of war. You remember that, Arnab?
I remember that well, sir.
You remember that?
I remember that well, sir.
They are trying a very devious game. They are just trying to win the propaganda war. And some of our people here are helping them, right? They're just trying to win the propaganda war because they have lost the war on the ground, in the air and on the sea, even before it is fought, right? So, Arnab, where do we go from here? With your permission, Arnab, let me give out a few scenarios. Endgame scenarios, right? Wargaming. So let's do
the wargame.
Endgame scenarios. Scenario 1. Coup in the Pakistan army. Asif Munir shot dead or put in prison. Either Nawaz Sharif takes over or there is a public upswell and Imran Khan comes back. Scenario 1. Scenario 2. The IMF refuses the loan of $1 billion. There is panic in Pakistan. The Americans apply pressure. They apply pressure through Saudi Arabia, with whom they have damn good relations, and Saudi Arabia is one of the lenders to Pakistan, right? They apply pressure and they force Pakistan to accept a ceasefire and de-escalation, right? Scenario 3, thinking the unthinkable. Pakistan gets into a suicidal mode, want to escalate the conflict further. Then I think we have all the justification to hit it as hard as possible. We've got them where we want them. Their nuclear bluff has been totally called that India dare not give a conventional response. Is this not a conventional response? You can thump all the tables, you can break all the mics. We'll break your bloody head, right? We have to go for the real perpetrators of all the terror attacks in India. Pakistan's military, Pakistan's ISI.
Yeah. But right? I just got the statement, this interview that apparently Khwaja Yusuf has given to a...
Pakistan can choose what it wants.
By the way, I want to go across to one of our reporters, but before that, a bit of breaking news. The Pakistani defense minister is saying, we are told, and he's saying, Deepak ji, that we have no option but to go into a full-blown war with India. because of India's aggressive actions over the last 4 days. This statement coming in that we have no option but to go into a full-blown war with India because of India's aggressive actions over the last 4 days. I see this as a desperate seeking of a face saver, or probably positioning, or probably pressure from the army. Because the army says that don't hold us back, let's do what we do, let the country go to hell. But it's also an existential crisis for Asif Munir.
Thank you very much. It's a brilliant question that you've asked. And his making this statement doesn't surprise me. He's been changing his stance every 10 minutes, saying something, I want to talk to India, I don't want to talk to India, I'll give this kind of response, I'll give that kind of response.
Back to the man.
Which is absolutely true. So what is bothering me really about this man, that the defense of that country, legally he's supposed to be in charge of the military. In reality, he is lower than the lowest member of the Pakistani military. You know, when the Pakistani army asks him to jump, the only question he asks is, how high should I jump?
No, are they being egged on in this by...
Let me tell you, sir. But my understanding is, when you said it's an existential issue is what he's saying for Pakistan because India is responding. When Munir did these funny things, sent all these guys to slaughter innocent victims, tourists in India, he did not expect us to retaliate so forcefully, which we have done. They were still thinking that, you know, we'll do one surgical strike and then we'll keep quiet. But we have gone out at it in a very consistent way, in a comprehensive response. This is bothering Pakistan. So he's being egged on, I believe, by the military itself. And I am not quite sure, sir, that even the British, I'm not quite sure what kind of a role they are playing in this.
Why?
They just don't like what we have done, sir. You know, sir, Mr. Goswami, the British were the biggest empire builders in the world at one time. You remember that? You're too young, sir. We were the biggest empire busters in the world, sir, because we started the decolonization process. They don't like us, sir. Let's have no illusions about that. I mean, we destroyed the British Empire. You know, so they might just be saying, and Pakistan is their illegitimate child. So they might be trying to egg these guys on, go on, we'll stand by you. My own feeling is, when you said face saving, they have no face left to save, but they're looking for an honorable exit. And that honorable exit would be some pressure. Many people are talking of restraint. That joker who runs a racket called the United Nations is talking also of maximum restraint. They are thinking that this kind of pressure on us, moral pressure, verbal pressure, nobody would put economic pressure, this kind might lead us to say, all right, guys, tell these guys to behave, we'll keep quiet.
All of the Jammu region is on a blackout tonight after the air raid siren warning. We have Gursimran live with us. Gursimran, can I go across to you? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Gursimran?
Yes, Arnab.
Can you tell me your location, what's happening, whatever you can share? Thank you.
Arnab, right now we are at the Indo-Pakistan line of control. This is the core area, and I'll request Sarjivan to show you the nearby areas, that all the areas have been put under intense this blackout. The Jammu region, entire Jammu region that has 10 districts, all the 10 districts, especially the 5 districts close to the line of control and the international border, they have been placed under a complete blackout. Reason being that the air raid sirens have also been activated. This has been activated at 8:16 this evening. In a short while from now, we are told that this assessment is being done by the air traffic control. After their assessment, this order has been issued and the civil defense has come out with the air raids warning and a complete blackout. This will be in place till the time the threat is negated. We are told that yesterday also similar intercepts were picked by the air traffic control, after which this alert was issued, and all the Pakistani drones, the swarm drones that entered the Indian territory,
every minute,
they were totally decimated by the... Yes.
We are watching every minute. You remember, Gursimran, last evening, around this time was the swarm of drone attacks. So basically, viewers, just deconstructing the situation for you. We have systematically enhanced India's defense architecture, but we cannot let our, our guard down. Anything can happen at any time. The Pakistanis are making these sort of declarations. Can I play what Khwaja Asif's latest interview is? I'll just run the relevant clip for news reasons, please. Can I please run that?
ये मेरा ख्याल है कि ये ऑप्शन जो है अब इसके अलावा अब कोई हमें अवेलेबल भी नहीं रही। अब इंडिया ने पिछले 3-4 दिन में बार बार जो एग्रेसिव मेजर्स अडॉप्ट किए हैं अगर हम इंतज़ार करते रहे हैं किसी तरह सिचुएशन डी-एस्केलेट हो जाए, लेकिन आई थिंक वो ऑप्शन जो है वो बड़ी minimal
Now
सी
he
रह गई
says this, viewers. I'll play this. Thank you very much. Now he says this in an interview earlier today when he came before the Pakistan Assembly and he was asked, why have you not used your drones? He came with a rather silly explanation. We have visuals. Before that, I have visuals of Narendra Modi meeting Rajnath Singh and the tri-services chiefs. The visuals are just out. Just out, ladies and gentlemen. In 10 seconds, I will be getting the visuals, viewers. Anyway, I was talking about Khwaja Asif right now. He is, okay. So this is the latest chief visuals, ladies and gentlemen. There's an assessment going on and the Navy chief there. The Prime Minister having a conversation with the Air Chief, the Army Chief, the Chief of Defence Staff, the Navy Chief, the Raksha Mantri, and of course the National Security Advisor. These visuals just coming in here on Republic through our feeds, and it seems to be a very easy and relaxed conversation. They're sitting in living room style in 7 Lok Kalyan Marg, and they're assessing the pros and cons of the present situation, and I think the Prime Minister is also giving his views. Viewers, we don't receive, of course, these feeds with audio, so we can only second guess what's going on. But I look at the video out there, I see the visuals, and I see a sense of calm and composure. I think we are playing a grand strategy game out here. We are not playing for pennies. We have our clear intent on our target, and I think we've got the enemy in our grip. General Bakshi, would you like to comment on what you're seeing here? I'm playing these visuals. I don't know if you're seeing them.
Absolutely.
Full frame, please. Thank you.
No, I can see them. I can see them very clearly. And once again, as you rightly observed, Arnab, there is a very calm atmosphere here. I don't see any tensions, any grim faces. I even see smiles. So we've got them where we want, Arnab. It is up to Pakistan to choose national suicide or an off-ramp. We've given them an off-ramp twice. So the rest of the world, as far as, being in the right or being on the right side of world opinion, I think we've done all that we could.
Okay.
I don't think we should be too concerned about what the Americans or the Europeans or anybody in the world thinks.
Yeah, can we get around?
As was very rightly pointed out by our foreign minister, we need partners, we don't need preachers. The rest of the world, whenever we have been in trouble, has only preached, given us sermons.
Yeah.
We don't want sermons, right?
Yeah.
It is a matter of the defense of our citizens. Every single Indian life matters, Arnab. Every single Indian citizen's drop of blood counts. And let's do what is in our national interest. Let us not try and impress anybody in the United States, the leftist liberals there. They won't be impressed by whatever you do. We don't have to impress Europe. We certainly have to impress the Pakistani military that they are in deep trouble. They want more trouble, go right ahead.
Lot of shelling right now, which has restarted in Poonch. Our reporter, Arawat, is in Poonch. I'd like to go to him full frame. Arawat, establish your location for us. You don't have to use the camera light that exposes you to harm. This is a very, very heavy shelling area. We don't have to be on the 6th window on this frame, please, viewers. Now, I'm just going across to you, Arawat. I can hear you. Can you tell me what's going on? What are you hearing? I'm told there's major shelling in the part where you are. What's your location right now?
Yes, absolutely, Arnab. We have seen that the fresh heavy exchange of fire has been started in the Uri sector this time now, and you can hear the big louds of the here in the Uri sector. Also, we have seen that the Indian Army is giving them the befitting reply here in the Uri sector. Also, we have seen that the entire area, we have seen, if you can see here in my background, if it's possible to see there is the flashlights going on where the fire have been started from this very sector, and then after we have seen the entire area is under the chaos, and we have seen that the blackout has been imposed in the parts of the Kashmir Valley, not only here in the Uri sector, sector, but we have seen that the heavy artillery firing has been started in the Uri sector. Right now we have been told to follow all the precautions. That's why we are also going to underground bunker here as of now, but we have been seen that the heavy exchange of fire has been just started. Also, the multiple sirens were also activated before the heavy artillery siren. One big bang has just heard in behind me, and this is the entire area where we have seen earlier we have seen that the properties were also targeted by the Pakistani troopers. Then after we have seen as of now the heavy exchange of fire is from this side, and you can see if Firdaus can show you the exactly there is the fire right now. You can see.
Can't see.
I don't know.
I can see. It's like a dot in the distance. Yes.
Right
what is
now,
that?
But yes, exactly. That's the shell where we have seen in the Uri sector right now, and we have seen that the Indian Army is giving them the befitting reply. Also, we have seen that the entire area has been under the blackout. Also, we have been told that this shelling has took place just 15 minutes back here in the Uri sector right now. You can see the red dot there. That's the point where the shelling has started. But we have seen that the Indian Army is giving them the befitting reply from the multiple locations here in the Uri sector. Also, we have seen during the day when we have seen that the evacuation process was underway. We have seen that the administration is on.
So Arawat is in Uri. There is almost a repeat situation of yesterday that we are seeing here, where exactly this time the shelling starts on both sides. But there is no swarm of drones yet. There is no swarm of drones yet. General KK, how are you reading the military situation?
See the calm, I can see the calm. What is yesterday, what has happened and what the briefing we got, that 400 odd, and those are Asisguard Songar, that is a very small range, 5 kilometers, drones which has come. It is just, 10 kilometer radius it can operate, and probably it was not even carrying the payload of explosives. And there are some cameras which they must have put, which they have, because out of 400, only 50 plus 20 has been accounted for.
Yeah.
So, if they have, that was the intention. That is the intention what we have read in the briefing which we got. Then there is certainly something. Are we going to retaliate first, or they are going to retaliate? They will do something because they have carried out probing attack, we say. This is the probing which they have done, which is what the assessment of
roving attack.
Probing attack.
Just to assess. But if they are probing, General KK, if they are probing, is it a probing before a bigger attack?
Yeah. Checking our defenses.
Yeah, that is exactly what the assessment is. This is exactly what the assessment is been given today. In layman language, it might be that they have come in those areas, they have come with the cameras, word was used with the cameras, they have carried out the recce and gone back. These recce's and all are gone, we find the...
So the difference is what you're saying, the difference is, the difference, General KK, what you're saying is that when we go and attack, we have a covert information, we have knowledge, we know where the target is, we know who we want to go after. Down to 5 square meter, we hit the particular target. But when they are hitting, when they came in yesterday, they were just probing the whole area. They do not have any covert information. They have no specific installation. They're just trying to show their power and go away. Now, in this given situation, Commodore Vikramjit Singh, where is the role of the Navy in your view? Where is the role of the Navy?
Just one thing more.
Yes, Arnab.
Yeah,
let him say one thing more. Yeah, General KK, you want to add something? Yeah, one more thing. Yeah, General KK.
Yeah, I want to add. See, when you carry out this, there can be two intentions. One is very serious intentions or a face saving. Face saving that, if it becomes a escalatory ladder, we, carry out something. They wait for it. Then they will do something. If they want to get away, if they will get away, India backs off.
This is exactly the time. I have to go in for some breaking news. This is exactly the time yesterday that there was a major drone attack. I'm hearing news now. What was the input? I'm told there is very, very huge explosions heard in Samba, I'm told Pakistani drones have been intercepted. Once again, we have the video. Let's play it. Let's see what we have. Samba visuals. Audio up. But I'm not seeing on the visual. Yeah, there is one dot out there on the screen, very, very small, almost cannot be seen. It's not a swarm of drones, but these are individual drones which may be trying to infiltrate. Samar, are you seeing this? Can we go back to that visual, please? These are individual drones that may be trying to enter our airspace.
Probing.
Is this?
They're trying to check.
But this is not probing.
I mean, if they're sending it in less numbers, means they're checking out that if we send in less, what is the response?
And which sector can we enter from?
This is Samba. It's a flat ground. There are no mountains or obstructions.
But why are we letting them do this? Every night they come and do this. We use our ADA. What is the strategy?
Our radars are already...
Just coming to you, General. Yeah.
Our radars are already picking up the origin of the flight path of these drones.
Yeah.
So they are not realizing that whenever they are launching these drones, we know the origin of the place where they are keeping them and launching them.
Okay.
So it's going to be once
so these are
and decisive blow.
These are latest visuals from Samba sector. General Dayal, very keen to come in here. General Dayal, this is different from yesterday. Can we put the audio up and then run General Dayal's response? Sir.
Arnab, see, these are very small drones. The terrain in Samba is such that, you know, there are trees, there is this plantation. That area is quite thickly plantation. So in this area, small drones will not find any signatures on the radar. And it is night time. During daytime, the sentries will see them. You know, there are posts where people will see them. It is night time, small drones are coming. The best part is that they are still being detected and being intercepted. So let's not, and Samba has got other significance. Samba is very critical when you look at the lifeline from Punjab to JNK.
I think I've seen a bigger swarm now.
Jammu, Srinagar.
We are seeing some more visuals now, and we are seeing some explosions in the sky. It's becoming a little bit clearer. 1 second. We are seeing a feed here. This appears to be like a swarm. This appears to be a swarm drone again. It started in the Samba sector. Are you seeing this, General Bakshi? General Bakshi, are you seeing this? Okay, we had this feed coming in from ANI.
Yes, very much, very much.
What does this look like to you, sir? Another attack, another evening?
I think, I would reckon this is a bigger drone with a bigger payload. The swarm that you are seeing is our air defense guns. You know, they're shooting at it, the L-70s. Look, Arnab, very valid questions you raised. Is this a probing attack, that 350 to 400 drones? Was that a probing attack, or was that a calibrated response to our strikes on the 9 terror camps and then some military targets, 4 military targets, right? Is this a calibrated attack in terms of the escalation ladder? He's also going graduated. If this is a probing attack meant for you to fire away your missiles in panic, reduce the number of missiles you have, then it is serious business. That means he's wanting to do something big. Does he have the thumb? Can he follow through? Can he follow through with that? I'm not very sure. But I think we are dealing with it quite well. Most of it, the work is being done by our L-70s and by non-kinetic means, which means electronic warfare, which has been enough to suppress. We also have low-level tactical guns now, which can shoot down these drones. Machine guns which can shoot down these drones. We have catered for this very well.
But you know, this can also be deceptive. Our response to this, you want to add something? Yeah, please.
So I just want to tell you one thing, that These are deceptionary tactics by the Pakistan forces. They are purposely using these small drones at a lower altitude to basically make us waste our ammunition. They are already in possession of Bayraktar Akinci. Bayraktar Akinci is a UAV drone which can fly at a height of 40,000 feet. 40,000 feet it can fly. It covers a distance of 7,500 kilometers in one go. And, you know, it has 27 different types of payload, different variety of missiles.
I need to come in. There is a suspected flying object. There is a suspected flying object that has been detected over AIMS Jammu. This is in Jammu. Just 1 minute, please. And therefore this appears to be some kind of an intrusion here. And we are seeing a visual of a suspected flying object flying. This visual taken somewhere near AIMS Jammu. So the question is this probing, is this stealthy, is this bigger payload, right? And there it is, viewers. You can see it quite clearly on this shot. Gursimran, are you there with us, Gursimran? Gursimran, aapne bheja hai. Gursimran, this video, what is it there?
Yes, Arnab.
What do you see here?
See, this has been taken from a nearby village of the AIMS Jammu, which is in the Vijaypur area of the Samba, and this drone has been, suspected drone has been intercepted a couple of minutes ago, after which there are some loud explosions that have also been heard. It is yet to be made clear by the authorities whether this suspected drone has been brought down or the attempts are being made, but a suspected flying object has been detected over the AIMS Jammu, after which the air defense system that has been installed at a nearby location has been activated by the authorities. A complete blackout is there in the Jammu district as well as the 9 other districts of the Jammu region. Reason being that there is a chatter picked up by the air traffic control that suggests that a drone attack is being launched into the Indian territory or is being noticed close to the international border, after which we saw that there has been an alert. There has been an alert that was sounded. A siren was also played across as a air raid siren, and also the blackout has now been imposed across Jammu region so that if there is any attempt from the adversary to carry out any air raid, that can be stopped well within the time, and the air defense system is activated. Arnab.
This is very, it seems almost like deja vu, like this was happening last night, viewers. If you're watching Republic this evening, you'd remember around this time there was a swarm of drone attacks yesterday. Bishambar Dayal, what is this playing towards? The question is, in this quote-unquote game, they're sending these drones. We've sent precision strikes. They're sending these sort of surveillance drones in. What is this all moving towards?
See, Arnab, let's look at his pattern. He's activated the entire LC. He's causing you damage at the LC, right? And from LC downwards, where LC finishes, he's made your IB also into LC with the help of these drones and these few missile attacks and this, and over last 3 days, he's been doing this. We have been so far counter-reacting to him. We all feel we need to have patience. We need to, maybe our strategic thinkers are making a bigger plan, deception plan and all those things. But at lower level, we must understand that all this causes panic in the 10, 12, 15 kilometers of the IB Indian side. Now, I'm of the opinion that, look, all this must be rebuked, not with just counteroffensive. It must be given a very, very punitive response where his villages, where his people in the 20, 25 kilometers area, where they feel the same pain, same panic, and where their military installations get some punishment. I mean, you may not declare a war. You may have your grand strategy. You may bring your grand strategy after 5 days, 6 days, and you can do that. But meantime, I'm of the opinion that that little more than what is required, what we are presently doing, we got to do something much more than this to send a very clear message every night, every hour to the Pakistani people and to the Pakistani establishment. That sort of
what could that be, General Bakshi?
We should wait.
What could that be?
I'm saying,
okay,
let General Bakshi say, otherwise I have got my own.
Let me put it bluntly. What could that be? Vishambar, have you finished? Can I comment? Yeah. Thank you.
Sir, आप बोलोगे तो हम सुनेंगे ना. आप बोलो, then I
what
can
would that bigger? No, because he asked me, that's why. Arnab, what I am saying is, you want to do something big, then it has to be kinetic action on the ground, supported by massive air power, firepower. Period. You want to do it localized, then your best choice is J&K. You want to use the integrated battle groups, then the entire international border is open, right? The choice is between these two. If you really want to escalate and hurt, you want to play games. We seem to be, both sides, quite fond of playing games. So these are games, please. We have hit the terror camps, very good. We hit them with more than drones. We hit them with the Scalp and the Hammer cruise missiles and the bombs, right? We hit them possibly with BrahMos. We hit them possibly with Smirch and Pinaka. So that's not games. That was a hard hit. Subsequently, we seem to have been trying to get into a drone war.
We have a visual of an interception. Sorry to interrupt you, sir. There we have a visual of an interception. This interception is coming in from Uri. India is giving a strong response back to these attempted interceptions. These visuals have come in from Uri. You're seeing this, sir, and it's quite a, you can see these are air defense systems, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know which make this would be. This is L-70. L-70 or Zu-23. Okay, there's a Zu-23 system which is firing. So it's a similar situation like last night. Yes, Jaldeal, yes, Jaldeal.
Yeah, Arnab, these are Zu-23 guns or maybe some Shilka guns because these are rapid fire. They fire about 2,000 rounds per minute. The L-70 is a little bigger round and it is a slow rate of fire. What I'm saying is, Arnab, see, General Bakshi and General Sinha have served too long on LC to give you more brief on how LC population feels when there is firing for 6, 8 months. What they go through mentally. What I'm saying is you're letting the bastard, sorry to use that word, I mean for Pakistan, you're letting him to do that all along your IB from Jammu to Amritsar to Firozpur.
What is to be done then, sir? What is to be done?
I'm saying stop his nonsense.
Then what is to be done, sir?
So you must apply your rocket resources also, no? You got Pinakas, you got Smirch, you got your resources, no? You need not fire your missiles. At night before he takes off,
You're saying this drone-to-drone battle will not work?
You start punishing him.
Start punishing him how, sir?
Why should you? You are waiting for his drones. Why should you?
Then it's the escalation that has gone to another level.
See, your Jammu people are scared. Why not Lahore? Why not Lahore? Let it be. Why not Lahore tonight go sleepless with your arty fire, with your rocket fire? Why are you letting your Jammu population suffer? Why should Samba people be suffering? What are we trying to give a message? You wait. I'm not saying you wait for 3 months, 4 months and strike when you need. Your strategic grand strike can come as you plan.
But the question
till then, don't let your population suffer.
The question then is...
You imagine...
The question then is, General Dayal, Commodore Bikramjit Singh, is that our strategic intent? Do we want to do that? The question is, the meeting at the Prime Minister's residence has just ended. There has been a conversation. The question is whether we want to go to a situation where we use our Pinakas, where we use our other heavy artillery, where we want to escalate to that level, or whether we want to use drones to continue to make targeted. I'm coming back to you, sir, after Bikramji. Whether we continue to use our drone system or continue to do precision strikes, disrupt their air defense systems. But even if you disrupt their air defense system, it should be to something. It comes to use only if you make a bigger attack, isn't it? If you don't have a bigger strike, then what's the use of hitting their air defense systems?
Yes, Arnab, absolutely right. What you're saying makes a lot of sense. But what General Dayal sir is saying also making sense. If you ask me, our India's standpoint always has been that we are not the first ones to escalate or to intrude or to start kind of a conflict. We are here to defend our interest if it comes to that stage. So like you said, you are aware, the External Affairs, the Foreign Secretary also said that escalation was already done by Pakistan when they did Pahalgam. So that was an escalation because they were projecting to the world that escalation has been done by India. On the contrary, they were the ones who had done the escalation. Now, here, what Pakistan is trying to do, I think we have to understand that in the garb of, sending these drones, these kind of, what we call probing attacks, are they trying to build up something which we are missing?
Or are they trying to build up something, or have we put them in a trap? We have more videos from Jammu as Summer speaks. Summer, the latest breaking news video will play as you speak. Please make your point, but please also refer to these visuals. 1 minute. So these are again a repeat of last night. Only this is Jammu for a second night. The sirens are on over Jammu. And we have our air defense which is firing, which means there is an attempted intrusion once again. Gursimran has a quick update. Gursimran? Gursimran? Please switch off your light, camera light. Switch off your camera light. Yeah, please. Okay, we lost his mic there. Samar.
Okay, now sir, as per my research, what I have been studying regarding the enemy's attack pattern, they have the AH-1 Cobras who have recently and constantly been flying low at the nape of the earth, practicing attack maneuvers. The Cobra attack helicopters. So firstly, that is the lowest altitude at which they are practicing an attack. Then comes the middle altitude, which are these small drones, which are basically which are making us expend our ammunition, are going to catch our attention.
But it can't be only to expend ammunition.
But even above that, an altitude even above that, approximately 40,000 feet, is going to be the Akinci combat UAVs, which has a payload of 1,350 kgs of missiles.
Understood. I got your point. You're saying they're working towards certain definite plan, but General Bakshi, the breaking is that the defense sources, army sources, confirming that drone sightings have happened right now, and the visuals are on Republic in Jammu, Samba, and in Pathankot, and all are being engaged. They all are being engaged. General Bakshi, 30 seconds to you, sir, and then I'm wrapping with you. General Bakshi, how is this moving, sir?
All right. Arnab, the visuals that we saw first was that we saw much larger, that bright
swarm,
larger than the smaller ones we had seen earlier. So from the swarm drones, we seem to have switched to at least what is called males. Mid-altitude, long-endurance drones. These, by the way, in Russia, Ukraine, have proved to be a little easier targets to engage because they have a larger cross-section, larger size of the target, can be picked up on radar depending upon what material you use. So what is Pakistan's idea in continuing to keep us on, on Jammu and on the line of control every night? So my first reaction is increase the firepower.
Increase the firepower.
Throwing at him.
He's been saying it very clearly, sir. I have to wrap because I have to go to Deepakji. Deepakji, what do you think? You've seen some very aggressive postures taken by General Bakshi and General Dayal. Sir, quick word from you, sir.
Thank you very much. This, sir, if I may invert the conventional wisdom, this is the storm which will be followed by a lull. And then there will be the tsunami that we will initiate. This is going to escalate for a while, then it will calm down. They think that we are going to let our guard down, but then the tsunami will follow.
Then we'll respond. Okay, I close here for want of time, ladies and gentlemen. On the other side, I'm going to read the Pakistani mind, the statements they have made, the contradictions, where they stand, and what that tells you about how they are thinking.
Time for a quick breather. Arnab will be right back with the debate.
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला।